Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Infinity, and this is Magnetize Yourself, where we talk about life, love, spirituality, and of course, the law of attraction. I really wasn't planning on recording this today. In fact, I had actually just put away all of my cards and recording things from the reading that I did at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time today. And typically I wouldn't be recording again until Friday, but this message hit me completely out of the blue. And I know there is a specific group of people listening who need to hear this message. So the message that came through is that for someone who is connecting with this reading, there is someone in your life. I am feeling that for most, this will be some type of romantic connection. But there's someone here who has been putting on a mask in a major sense in their life. I'm hearing they're wearing a false energy. That's how my guides kept describing it. So in simple terms, this person is trying to project a persona, a personality that is very, very different from who they really are at a soul level. Now, for whoever I'm tapped into here, and this is one of those very hyper-specific readings, so this absolutely will not be for everyone, but for whoever I'm tuned into here, this has been incredibly confusing to your intuition because you are someone who is highly intuitive and you actually see people for who they are at a soul level more than you see them at the physical level, even at the level of the personality, which most people don't consider to be just physical or 3D. Most people identify with their own personality. But the reason that personality tends to change over the course of time is because our personality is the conscious projection of how we want to be seen and to be perceived in the world. And you are someone whose personality, what you project, is very closely in alignment to what you really are energetically and at a soul level. But that's pretty rare, having that kind of personality and soul essence alignment. Many people project something very differently as a persona than who they actually are at a soul level. In fact, people can do this entirely unconsciously. Prior to having a spiritual awakening, many people identify themselves as a personality that is actually very out of alignment with their true innermost soul self, with their true core soul frequency. In fact, this is something maybe even you or many people listening have experienced through their own ego death. Well, the thing about whoever is coming up in this particular reading, which, by the way, I keep wanting to say, I feel whoever is connecting with this reading is most likely going to connect here as a divine feminine. Of course, these labels, divine feminine and divine masculine, do not connect with a particular gender in these readings. They actually connect with an energetic polarity. So we all have a balance of both energies, but most people tend to carry a dominant either feminine or masculine energetic polarity. So take the messages as they connect. But I do feel that for many of you, you will connect as the divine feminine. So I will continue saying or referring to you as divine feminine and this other person as being a masculine energy. And what I'm getting from them is that they are, again, projecting a false energy. And I don't get the sense that this person is doing this maliciously. I actually feel that they're doing this for self-protection because they are actually afraid of the world seeing their true self. Now, I don't know if the person I am tapped into here, this masculine, is a public figure, a celebrity, someone out in the world that's public facing. They could even just have a very visible job or career. This could just be that people know them a certain way, but I keep picking up that you, Divine Feminine, know the real them. And you are seeing their soul very clearly. And everyone else is seeing this persona that this masculine is projecting. But the problem is, this masculine themselves have actually, in some part, started to buy into their own false image of self. For some reason, this person's energy, it's almost like they project themselves as someone who is arrogant or someone that doesn't get their feelings hurt or isn't sensitive or doesn't really get too emotionally attached. Yeah, this is someone who likes to project the image of being very free, being very unattached, not wanting to commit themselves necessarily. But the thing is, this person is actually running from something. And right as I said that, they're running from their real desire for partnership with caring connections upright. The ironic thing is, what this person most desires is to actually support and be supported in a really beautiful, stable, long-term connection. In fact, I feel that because they are lacking this kind of connection in their life, they're trying to fill that sense of void in many other ways. But it's almost like they themselves aren't fully consciously aware that they're running from the very thing they want most and trying to fill that void where they really desire connection with other things. This could be someone who has some form of addiction in their life. It doesn't have to be an addiction to a substance. This could be an addiction to a certain pattern of behavior. For some of them, this pattern of behavior could be, if I'm being completely honest with what I'm picking up in this person's energy, and again, this won't be for everyone, and if this is for you, know that this is something you already know or are intuitively aware of. So if this doesn't resonate or seems off to you, then this part of the reading may not be for you. But this person is someone who actually might pursue a lot of shallow connections with feminine energies that they know have no power over their heart. People that they know they won't fall in love with. I know that sounds so strange, but this masculine may actually date and go after people romantically that they are not at risk for wanting a true partnership with. I'm hearing shallow, so some of these feminine energies may come off as very low vibrational, very shallow in some sense. I'm not sure why I keep getting that word. This might be how you have been perceiving these feminine energies that this masculine has connected with in the past. But regardless, something about the romantic bonds that the masculine here pursues has a shallow feel to it. It feels very superficial, and that's actually very intentional on the masculine's part here because they have been running from the true depth of connection that they really desire. Now, the thing is, when they connected with your energy, I'm hearing they feel almost like you were inserted into their life. Like they may not have gone out and pursued you, or maybe they weren't the one to approach you, but it's almost like you just bumped into each other, or your worlds just collided, or something along those lines. I don't know who this is for. This is so specific, but for some of you, If you've seen this masculine in person, when they saw you, they were highly intrigued by your energy because the moment that they looked at you, they subconsciously recognized that you represent that caring connections energy, that you are someone that they could settle down with, that they could have exactly what they want the most, but exactly what they've also been running away from. And because they were still running, they may not have approached you, or they may have been very hesitant to approach you. You actually may have been the one to approach them, or maybe circumstances brought the two of you together. Maybe there's been no further communication or connection because there hasn't yet been an approach or a deepening of that physical 3D bond because of that initial moment. I want to say moment of panic. It's like every system in this divine masculine's energetic field just immediately started ringing with alarm bells, essentially telling them, this is someone that you could settle down with. This is someone that could fulfill that deep craving for true partnership and true intimacy that you haven't even yet admitted to yourself that you really desire. And if you have had an ongoing connection in the physical, communication-wise, with this masculine, I'm getting that they may have given you very hot and cold energy for this reason. For some reason, I keep seeing dark hair, like either dark brown or black hair. So that could be resonant for someone. I'm also seeing curly or wavy hair for someone listening. I'm seeing glasses for someone, but of course, when it comes to these details, only take the details that do connect with you in a personal way. I'm seeing something with a ball, like some kind of sport with a ball. So someone here could play a sport or be really into sports. I'm hearing admiring you at a distance. Like this masculine's plan has been just to admire you, divine feminine, at a distance in your power, in your beauty. But there's almost this hesitancy to approach you or to deepen this bond because you are exactly what they've been running from and exactly what their soul most desires. But there's another reason here as well. Getting back to the masculine here, projecting this false self. They are afraid because with journey reversed and with crown chakra upright, you see this masculine beneath all of these levels and layers of persona, of personality that they've been trying to project. And I'm hearing you don't buy it. Like you don't buy into the persona they've projected. And you cause them to question their own persona. Again, as I said earlier with the attachment card, it's almost like over the course of projecting this false persona for so long, this masculine has begun attaching to that persona, almost as though he himself is beginning to believe that he is that falsely projected persona. But you call the bluff here. When this masculine is around you or around your energy, they can't lie to themselves. They can't even buy into their own lies. I'm hearing they can't buy into their own BS, to put it bluntly. With the crown chakra upright, it also seems like they are going through an unstoppable spiritual awakening that you really sparked within them. I'm hearing just looking at you started this spiritual awakening. So there may have been a really powerful moment of eye contact between the two of you if you were in the same room. And in that moment, a massive energetic exchange occurred between you. And it's almost like this masculine soul said to his conscious self, I remember now. I remember who I really am. But there's many parts of his psyche, of his consciousness that aren't ready to accept who he really is, that true identity. Connecting with you really brings this masculine back to their roots. It's almost as though it's almost as though when they talk to you, they feel like you are taking them back to how they may have talked or how they may have interacted when they were a child or when they were even a teenager. And I feel like the masculine I'm speaking about has intentionally altered their personality, especially to break ties with how they used to be perceived. I know this is so specific, but there may be a masculine here who was bullied in middle school or high school, or was considered to be nerdy in some type of way, but they did a lot of work to entirely change their image and entirely change how people perceive them. I'm hearing so they could come off as more cool. I know that is such a blunt way of putting it, but it's hard to find a better way to describe this kind of energy. And it's as though you brought out that younger version of them, which was actually more aligned with who they really are at a soul level. It's just that I feel the masculine here learned to reject those parts of themselves that they were taught by school or by their peers or by society were not cool or were not acceptable. You may even share with this masculine some interests that are really intellectual in nature. You might, for example, both be into reading or watching or absorbing some of the same type of material or information. You may have a similar hobby or something like that. But the strange thing is the masculine here keeps coming off as someone who tries to shove down or hide those parts of himself because other people around him rejected those aspects of his true self. And so he himself began to reject those aspects. But you, Divine Feminine, you are piercing right through it all. You are seeing through it all. And when this masculine is in your presence, those falsely projected aspects of their untrue self, their false self, completely come crumbling down in those moments. So it's both a really refreshing experience. I heard it's simultaneously like a breath of fresh air to them. That doesn't even really begin to describe how refreshing. In fact, they may have used that word refreshing to describe you, to describe connecting with you. And yet they may exhibit hot and cold behavior because while it's so refreshing to connect with someone who sees them, who calls them back essentially to those deeper levels of themselves, at the same time, it's very ungrounding. It brings a lot of chaos into their life because when they're around you, those false parts of themselves start crumbling down. They can't hold up that illusion any longer. Wow, very powerful messages coming through this reading. And if this reading is connecting with you, I really recommend a subliminal meditation I've created called Love Magnetism. This subliminal works through each of these 7 chakra centers and assists you in rewriting any subconscious belief patterns that may be creating blockages when it comes to attracting or deepening love connections in your life. So this subliminal is intended to remagnetize your energy for attracting in love, positive attention, and positive experiences into your life. You can also listen to it while visualizing this particular person or situation if you would like to channel the energy there more directly and deepen that specific bond. The Love Magnetism Subliminal comes from my Subliminals app, Sound and Soulful, which is now available in the Google Play Store and the Apple App Store. So if you'd like to try out this subliminal and also explore my library of more than 130 subliminals for all areas of life, you can do so by clicking the link in the pinned comment or description box under this video. You can also search it directly in the app stores by searching Sound and Soulful. And These subliminals are my personal library of created meditations that I've personally used for years. They are designed to reprogram your mind at a really deep subconscious level, which in my experience has been the most effective way in shifting my own energy and manifesting my goals in life. So I'm so excited to be sharing my own library of subliminals with you all through my app. And of course, I will be adding many more of them to the app over the course of time as well. So again, if you would like to explore more about all of that, the link to more information is in the pinned comment and description box. Of course, if my energy resonates with you, I also invite you to subscribe to the channel, join our beautiful community of like-minded, conscious, creative beings here on YouTube. You can also follow me on Instagram at Magnetize Yourself. Have a beautiful day, and I will connect with you here again in the next video.